This episode of PTG is brought to you by Transfuse, the hydration, immunity, and mental clarity booster, and Transcend nootropics. And with just one serving of Transfuse, it is equal to 4 of the competitors in one. And there is no other formula as potent as Transfuse on the market. And you are all encouraged to go and compare the formulas with any other products on the market and see for yourself just how amazing it is. Transfuse uses all natural flavors, colors, and sweeteners, and there's no proprietary blends, so you know exactly every milligram of each ingredient you are consuming. This formula was created to optimize your mind, body, and immunity, and Transfuse can be used as a high-performance multiplier for working out and any competitive sports or demanding lifestyles. Also, be sure to get your hands on the Transcend, which is a nootropic formula that improves cognitive function and can replace your morning coffee, pre-workouts, energy drinks, or energy shots. The formula contains lion's mane, alpha GPC, teacrine, and dynamin. Transcend was created based off of research studies to help with cognitive control and mental function. So get your hands on some Transcend and some Transfuse today. Head on over to transfuseusa.com. Use code PLAYTHEGAME for 10% off and sign up for monthly delivery service for an additional 10% off to take advantage of 20% off these products altogether right now. Head on over there, support PTG. We appreciate you, and we'll see you in the show. This episode is brought to you by Lone Wolf Paintball. They are an amazing online supplier and have been around since the beginning of the game as Michigan's premier paintball field and paintball supplier since 1987. They are rapidly expanding into the online retail space and supplying everything you need to be the best paintball player you can be. They have got it all. Head over to lonewolfpaintball.com and shop all of your favorite brands. And they also boast amazing customer service and will have this out to you with same-day shipping, which is amazing. It's always nice to know that your stuff is on its way immediately so you can start to use it that very next weekend of play. Check out their YouTube, Lone Wolf Paintball, and their Instagram at Lone Wolf PB, and stay up to date with all of their deals and sales. Play the Game podcast is immensely honored to have them on board, and we cannot wait for you guys to check out lonewolfpaintball.com and become a part of their community. This episode of PTG Podcast is brought to you by the new HK Army UV Glow Charging Sonic Loader and HK Army Glow in the Dark Paintballs. Everybody, it is time to light up the night sky with one of the most exciting paintball experiences you will ever have. There are 7 integrated UV LED lights in the new UV Glow Charging Sonic Loader that will illuminate the HK Army glow-in-the-dark paintballs and have them supercharged for non-stop nightball fun. You do not know what you are missing out on until you go enjoy some nightball with some friends and shoot these instant tracers downfield with HK Army's glow-in-the-dark paintballs that provide precision accuracy, vibrant glow fill, and are all available right now on hkarmy.com. Do yourself a favor, head on over to hkarmy.com and get the new HK UV Sonic Loader and glow-in-the-dark paintballs right now exclusively at HK Army. Log in, support, have fun, and we'll see you on the field. Tell them PTG sent you.
What's going on, PTG Nation? Thank you guys so much for tuning in and rocking with us. Happy Halloween, everybody. If you guys are listening on Halloween, we hope you have an amazing holiday. Thank you for joining us and spending the day with us, trick-or-treating. This episode is an absolute banger. We have Brett Messer of LA Infamous and Virtua Paintball. Virtua Paintball is an amazing new video game for paintball that is going to be free to download, being unveiled at World Cup. This is something I'm so incredibly excited for. I think it could be massive for the sport. And getting to talk with Brett about the vision of the company and some Infamous stuff was a really fun episode. So without further ado, we're going to hop in the show.
That was an insane inside move by Marcelo Margot. Great communication. And the crowd starts chanting Harmon. Great shot by all the guys. Tyler Harmon saved that game.
He came out with 2 wins. Marcelo Margot was on fire.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to PTG. We have a Halloween special here for you. Brett Messer of LA Infamous and Virtua Paintball, the new video game that just dropped. Everybody's seen all the promos. We're incredibly excited about this. Excited to have you on, Brett. How's it going?
Yeah.
Oh, really, really good. Thanks for having me.
Dude, thank you for being here, man, and thank you for the innovations. I know that you're working
Yes.
with Virtua Paintball and this new video game that just dropped. So congratulations on all of that. Where are you reporting from right now?
At my farm in Maine,
Shout
Biddeford,
out.
Maine. So yeah, yeah,
Nice.
Let's go. I love
yeah.
the Northeast,
Tyler
man.
and I were just talking before the show. We are like, man, Blake really has it figured out, dude, especially with how crazy the global economics have kind of been in the world right now. He's just, has a big piece of farmland out there in Michigan, kind of in the middle of nowhere. He's like 3 hours from a grocery store, I think. And I'm like, man, he really has it figured out.
Yeah, it's a good time to own cows and chickens.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Do you have cows and chickens on your farm?
I do, yeah. I've got a handful of Scottish Highlands, and my wife's got a few different breed of chickens and ducks and such. So
Amazing.
Awesome.
Love that.
yeah,
And
I'll
you
send
guys
you some pics there.
consume the eggs and stuff?
Oh yeah, every day, and
Oh,
we use them
that's
at one of our
awesome.
businesses too. So
Nice.
Very cool.
And which
I assume the
business is
chickens are
that, like
being-
a breakfast spot?
it's a medical cannabis edible company, so everything
Oh,
that
wow.
requires eggs, the eggs come from the farm here. So
Yeah.
Wow,
Outstanding,
epic.
man.
yeah,
Making the most of everything. And yeah, like we were saying, that Yarber land is rising, man. That being in the middle of nowhere, just having your own plot. He's got his own little paintball setup. You got the food. He doesn't even have to go to the grocery store. He just goes outside,
Yeah.
finds some food, just start eating.
I've got some bunkers, a compressor, a couple cases of paintballs. I mean, we're good here for a while.
Yeah, man. Well,
Yeah,
congratulations on everything, dude. It's been
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been a wild ride. This year's been interesting. So really excited to show everybody what we've been working on at Cup. I think people are going to really like it.
Yeah, let's dive in a little bit. Talk about Virtua Paintball, how this game, came to fruition, and the idea behind it.
Yeah, totally. So the game itself was conceived by a teammate of mine on Manchester firm, Remy Lacombe. And so
That's a Remy.
yeah, exactly. Shout out Remy. He and I had played together for a few years, and we were playing a tournament in Europe, in France, and he had his computer out and he's like, "Oh, look at this." And I was like, "Whoa, that is awesome." And so I started asking him a million questions about it, like any of us would. And he needed help on the business side and a lot of other stuff to get the game from where it was to where it is now. So initially we were just talking like doing an investment, but then it really progressed to me being a part of the company, and so that's where we are today. So I run the business side of the business. Remy runs the development team, and all the technical side. So I think we work really well together. We're both have a lot of time in paintball, and it's just super important to us that the game really reflects what it's like to play paintball in real life and really captures that whole essence. We want to drive new players into paintball through the game, in both ways. We want to get a lot of people that play paintball playing the game. So
play the game, baby. Get out there and play some Virtua Paintball once it drops. And it looks amazing. The advertisements that you guys just dropped look outstanding. You got my man Marcelo doing the snapshot, doing the slide, making it all come to life. And it looks really, really sharp out there. So shout out to all the hard work that your team has put into making this come to life, man.
absolutely, I can't echo that enough. A lot of hard work's been put in, certainly the last few months to get everything ready for the World Cup launch. And the trailer came out really awesome. We're proud of that. So Remy and the team worked hard. It wasn't his specialty to put that together. So it was a lot of labor of love. Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, I'm like, it looks amazing, dude. Like you got to relax a little bit. So he's.
Yeah, it's really funny. So I've had a few kids that I work with and coach pretty regularly and have worked with for at least 5 years. They were picking apart all the little details of the fundamentals that are things that I preach. One thing was like the thumb placement. They were really happy that, I wasn't holding my grip. For anyone that's over on the YouTube, you can see what I'm showing where you're kind of holding your thumb through the grip rather than pressing it against the side. And then they're kind of making fun of my foot placement. Like, "Oh, you're messing up here." I'm like, "Okay, guys, go and give it a rest." But other than it came out looking so good. Like just the graphics and everything look amazing. And the display that you guys showed me when I did the video call with you and Remy, it looked fantastic, looks incredibly realistic, and just kind of his thought process behind everything and how he envisions the game going is really exciting. It truly is for paintball.
Oh, your mic.
We lost you, brother.
But yes, I will agree, dude. For paintball, like Brett was saying, to get new paintball players in the game, this is the kind of stuff we need more of, stuff like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that definitely is a huge possibility as we can try to build some notoriety in the gaming community outside of just the paintball world. So, kind of our mission is to get the entire paintball community involved with the game and start to build our momentum and our user base, and then hopefully grab the attention of the general gaming community. And, that's potential exposure to millions of people who've never played paintball. Maybe they heard about it. Now they're getting a firsthand experience with it. And so we're going to have a lot of different game modes. It's not just going to be a tournament paintball thing. We're focused on that, and we're going to have a really awesome esports component that goes along with the game. So you'll be able to play in competitive tournaments. And I think that's going to add a lot for existing paintball players. But there's going to be other game modes that aren't just 5-on-5 on airball fields. So we've seen a lot of questions about that. Of course, we're going to have 10-on-10 and bigger games and different types of fields, urban environments, and woods ball and hyperball and all the different cool stuff that you see at paintball fields. So,
man, dude,
hey,
Ronnie
Brett,
D's one is ready to go. Him and his whole squad, they're chomping at the bit. They can't wait.
I've been chatting with Ronnie, all year, sending him little videos and stuff. Hopefully he'll be running the Houston Heat esports franchise for you guys.
Let's go.
There you go.
Yeah, I want to dive into all of the potential, possibilities that this game is going to, present for us. But real quick, do you mind if I share the commercial here on the show?
Yeah, no, please. That'd be awesome.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. Head over to the YouTube. Here. Subscribe.
Yeah, you guys got to check this out. Leave a comment.
Hello, Mark. Wow.
Ooh, look at that. Ooh.
And for everybody,
that's dope, dude.
It is outstanding. Everyone who's listening, you can go to virtuapaintball.com and check out some more details there. And then it's coming Q1 2024. And it said on the advertisement, free to play. And it also stated that it'll be partnered with Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. So talk more about that and how that partnership is working and what you guys are doing there.
Yeah, totally. So I'll start with the cross-platform experience by, I guess I'll go with the release date kind of schedule. So the first look at the game is going to be in the gaming arena at World Cup. And you can stay tuned to our social. We'll have an announcement about the gaming arena with a 3D render and a little bit more information about what that experience is going to look like at World Cup.
And where do they follow you on the socials so that they can stay tuned to all that?
Virtua.paintball.
All right.
And then in our link in bio on Instagram is our Discord. Like a lot of, organizations, that's a great place to stay in touch with us. And I'll get to a bigger point about the Discord thing here in a second. So
hold on. You know about Discord? Like people know about Discord? Is this?
I hope so.
Shout out to
PTG.
So
yeah, we have a lot of fun in the Discord with PTG. The PTG fam and PTG world is cracking. We're having a lot of fun in there.
Yeah, well, make sure PTG guys stay on top of your Discord too, because we'll be rolling out download codes to that group as well.
Nice.
So stay tuned. Skeleton Squad Society for Infamous, the Dynasty Champions Club. These guys are all going to get first access to download codes. So I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, so first look at World Cup. You can come in, play 5-on-5. We're going to do a Hormesis dual 1v1 tournament in the game during the weekend. We're going to do a little 5-on-5 tournament just on Sunday. Got a few different things planned. Then about a week later, we're going to open up the open beta via Steam. So everybody, that'll be an open public download, but you will need a download code. And so basically we're going to be rolling the game out a little bit more each day so that we can just gauge stress on servers and that sort of stuff. So, we're thinking like we'll probably release somewhere between 500 and 1,000 codes on the first day, and then something like 250 additional codes each day. Those numbers and dates and stuff are a little in flux. We're trying to hammer it down, but we don't want to promise something we can't deliver on. So that'll be about a week after World Cup's over. So we're eyeing Friday, November 17th, but we'll post a date publicly when we have it. So just be in all those Discords and primarily in ours in terms of the codes, but the three other ones, the groups that I mentioned too, we'll roll codes out to them in priority. So that's open beta. So that is the current iteration of the game. And what will happen is we'll work out any final bugs in the PC version of the game. So it'll only be available on PC until the full release, which will happen at the end of Q1. We're really aiming to do it at the NXL event in Las Vegas. So can't put a hard date on that yet, but that's our target as a company. And so we'll be full cross-platform, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and it doesn't matter what system your boys are on, you'll all be able to play with each other. So that's the pinnacle. Really one of the biggest reasons I was so excited about getting involved with the game, because I know how contentious that is when a game's only on one platform. So I think it's one of the coolest features. And
Dude, that's amazing. Yeah, and hopefully, come Vegas, we'll see another setup out there, and people will still be having fun playing it, enjoying it.
Yeah, you'll see us at NXL events for the foreseeable future with the 5-on-5 gaming arena. So we built custom gaming computers, all have nice big 24-inch monitors and all the sweet peripherals. So anybody who wants to swing by the booth and try the game, we'll get people in and out all weekend. Come by, play as much as you want.
Awesome. Yeah. And so could we talk a little bit about the gameplay and kind of the structure? Is it a, like 2K My Career kind of thing? And obviously I know the answers to this. I'm just kind of for the listeners here. Are you building your own type of player, or is it, like digital paintball was back in the day where you just log in and there's, you go into servers and play against other live people? How does that work?
Yeah, totally. So we'll be rolling out features consistently over the next 2 years. And we definitely want to have a version of the game that's very similar to like an EA Sports Madden, where every NXL Pro teams in the game, the WNXL teams, maybe top divisional teams, their rosters are available on there. Their characters look accurate. And we would even have some abilities, some stats built in there. So, is Mouse speed 99 and, Tyler's clutch 99, whatever the case may be. And, we set these stats. And so that can maybe make it a little bit more fun for people who don't know anything about paintball. We want to do that. Initially, the game will roll out as kind of a 5-on-5 tournament style play, just so it's straightforward for everyone. That includes the other game modes as well. But we will play around with capturing the flag and different objectives that we will mix into servers. So essentially, when you log on to the game, you'll have a few different options that you can click on, like a lot of multiplayer online games. So do you want to jump into a 5-on-5 ranked game? Do you want to jump into a randomized unranked game? Our global ranking system is really cool. Every time you log in, you'll get in your menu screen, you'll see exactly what your world ranking is, how many positions you've moved up or down since the last time you've logged in. And then you'll have a ranking similar to the paintball ranking system based on where you fall. So if you're a top 100 player in the world, you'll automatically be considered professional, and so on the further you come down the list. So
dope. Yeah, that is incredibly cool. Yeah, it's like, you get to log in. The more you play, obviously, probably the better chances. So skill-wise, you get good at the game by playing the game. Your character doesn't actually get better in the game, right? It's you get good with your paintball movements and kind of like I guess Call of Duty and stuff like that, right?
Oh, We lost your
Oh,
audio.
brother, we lost your audio again.
Something weird keeps happening where like it goes into mute. So
Okay.
the like with a lot of video games, we don't want it to be any sort of pay to play like format, or where somebody who has a lot of gameplay hours has a massive advantage over somebody who's new to the game. I think that makes games weird and unsuccessful. So the game will be completely level in the competitive format. So if you log on, you want to play a ranked game, if we're hosting a tournament, whatever the case may be, it's going to be similar to Counter-Strike, where everybody's going to start with the exact same equipment. Even if you're using a Field One Force, Tyler's using a DLX Lux. Visually, that's what you'll see, but those markers are going to perform exactly the same within the game. But we are playing around with some formats where that's not the case. Look at like a Fortnite, where they just have this wide range of guns that you can use, and we think that could be really fun for paintball too. Different type of projectiles that could be shot and different rates of fire and what those things could look like. So we definitely are playing around with all of that currently, and we will have several different game modes available at the full launch. And but yes, the gameplay will be a very level playing field, unless the purpose of that game mode is to have a varying level of gear and loot and that sort of thing.
You know how much money these big entities make off of skins? You know what I mean? Like just the all the suits and everything. My son, he's always like, "Hey, Dad, I need a new skin. What's up over here? Can I get a new skin?" I'm like, "Oh my God, these things are $8 a pop." And then they make it so you have to buy $20 worth to get the thing that's actually only cost 13, but there's no $13 thing, and then you got it. They know what they're doing over there with these price packages too, man. It's wild.
Yeah, it's really crazy what video games have become. I mean, a lot of the best games now are free, and I kind of like that model, and that's why we went with that model too. Like, we're going to give people opportunities to spend money within the game. I mean, that's pretty obvious, I think, for any game that's free. But that's people's choice. Like, you don't need to spend a single penny to come play the game and enjoy it and be just as competitive as somebody who decided to spend $1,000 on the 1-of-1 Marcelo Gold Field One Force. Like, it doesn't matter. Play with your Tipman and you're good to go. So, but in terms of that, we are working closely with many of the biggest companies in the industry. So you'll see a lot of real life products incorporated in the game over the next couple of months. So our development team, the 3D modeling team that's doing all of the models and texturizations, working really hard to get that stuff ready. I know that a lot of that stuff's going to be very exciting for the paintball collectors out there that'll be playing the game. So we'll make sure that we got something for everyone.
Yeah, and it provides opportunity on the player who's having that kind of stuff available for the community and the game. Everybody's winning. You also looking good. You know what I mean? You got the cleanest looking gear. Everyone's feeling good. And I'm sure there have been a lot of hurdles that you guys have had to navigate to get to this point where we're sitting here talking with you about this video game. I know that the servers is definitely a hurdle, and that's why you have the codes to kind of monitor exactly how it's going to roll out so that things don't shut down, right? So kind of talk about how difficult that has been and how you've navigated that, because there's a lot of people out there that wish they could accomplish what you've just done.
Yeah, totally. And that's definitely one of the most challenging parts, is doing the database and back-end software architecture to get all of these things to work together. When we eventually do roll out the digital store, which there will be some functions here soon, but the full store, I mean, it has a lot of integrations that tie into, for example, a paintball company's website with their in real life product that, now all of a sudden the two stores are communicating with each other. So the idea with skins also, haven't really got into announcing this publicly yet, so I'm going to not say too much, but
it's all right. Just let it fly.
We're working with a number of companies, which paintball people love. I'm just going to say that, so that when you buy something in real life, you're going to be able to redeem that exact item in the game 1 for 1.
That's incredible.
I won't mention what products, but maybe it's a really cool headband or a really cool CS3 that's coming out soon. But anyway, if you're
here we
that
go.
loves collector items, you love to get the high-end private label stuff, limited edition, just know that the ability to also have those items in the game without spending any extra money is coming your way. So that's and the big thing is going to be too the ability to transfer these items. If somebody's got the Tyler Harmon World Cup 2022 jersey, wants to send it to his homie, he'll be able to do that. So something else we're excited about too is just to have that ability to have a virtual wallet, so to speak.
Yeah, I feel like this is so huge for paintball. Just the fact that video games in general, I think, are massive for sports, right? I fell so much more in love with football and basketball because of Madden and NBA 2K. I would play all the time, and it didn't cause me to watch basketball any less. It actually made me watch basketball more. It made me watch football more. These games really integrate you with the sport, and we talk a lot about a current quote unquote issue with professional paintball is people don't understand the game, and how can we make it more understandable to the average viewer? Well, this is exactly how you get people that don't know paintball. They stumble across this game. It's free to download. They're able to play. They enjoy it. They have fun. And then they start to learn about what competitive paintball is, what it looks like. Okay, if we shoot all 5 and hit the buzzer on the other side, that's a point, and you play for a match. It teaches you the rules of the game. I learned the rules of basketball and football by playing the game. Literally, that's how I learned most of the rules. I didn't grow up playing organized sports. I didn't play basketball in high school, and you learn that through video games. And so to have this opportunity for, hundreds of millions of people to play the game, to log in and download it for free and be exposed to tournament paintball is so massive.
Well, and you really learn who all the players are on all the teams that way too.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
got a pack of cards for Christmas in your stocking, and then you fire up the game, and now every player starting on every roster. That's a cool way to get really integrated, and I really want to see that for paintball. The way I look at it, it's like Madden, Call of Duty, and paintball had a baby, and it's this video game. So it's going to have really the best components of the top sports games, the top shooting games, all kind of tied into one. So,
video games, fantasy sports, all these different avenues that we can use to highlight all the players and just keep accentuating this amazing sport that we all play. It's not going to happen by us sitting on our butts. You know what I mean? We got to get up, get out there, start telling the stories, introducing people to the players like you're doing, like we do on this show, and making sure that people know professional paintball is a thing. There's still countless people, way more people don't know about paintball than do. So we have a lot of work to do in making sure that we tell the right stories and get the right, image for the sport and take the game, to where it is in its highest iteration right now. Paintball is being played at the highest level we've ever seen. And if we keep highlighting it in these types of ways with the video games, all this type of media, it's going to continue to just hit eyeballs, and people are going to know more about us. So that's really what we got to keep doing.
That's a fact. Testing out a new format at Cup. You guys both playing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're playing.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
You excited?
I mean, it's going to be on the pro field. So, you kind of have to.
Yeah. I mean, I like the way they're doing it. In the past, paintball collectively has made major changes without doing enough testing. So, we could do something like this once or twice a year, every year, and try out new things for us, because it's a low impact to the game. It's a low impact to field owners, to us as players. We get a little extra practice with refs. I mean, it's like,
correct.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it's stupid, well, I'm sure everybody's going to let Tom know. So,
yeah.
I think it's good for everyone, and it's great. It would be crazy of us to not try new stuff.
Yes,
totally agree with that. Right, and I do love that we get to try it. It's like you said, it is literally low impact. Actually, there's a little bit of a benefit. The pro teams, why wouldn't they want to try it? You get to play on the actual pro field before the event starts. It's the best practice you can get. So, although the strategy might be a little bit different, you still are learning the field in a very unique kind of way. So I don't know how excited I am for this format that was proposed, to be completely honest. I think there's a lot of holes in it. Again, just the first thing that comes to mind is if that 4 minutes expires and it's 4-on-4 and it's a no point because no team's in the advantage bunker and no one's won the point, that seems really anticlimactic for the viewers. I think that's kind of silly. But we'll see, until you actually play it and see it tested, you won't know.
I totally agree. I mean, it could be slow just like everything else. Or maybe you see people going snake on the break more often than not, even if it's a big risk, just because, well, if we make it and the field's locked up, then we get a field goal. Or are they still calling it that?
Yes.
I don't think they're officially calling it a field goal or touchdown. That was just kind of an analogy. We do need to come up with our own terms as well, but it'll be worth 3 points, which is, I don't know. Is that
the field goal touchdown thing?
With the, same.
I get that it makes it easier for other people to understand it, but I've always liked having our own kind of thing when it came to that. We got our own verbiage.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And paintball naturally is pretty easy to understand. You got your guys over there, they're over there. Someone ain't going to be on the field. Someone's walking off this thing because they're going to be going heads up at each other. Adding these different types of components and layers does make it intriguing and adds depth to the game. There's a multitude of ways that we can do that too. So I'm really excited to see it continue to grow and us be brainstorming. And like you said, Brett, trying it out. What's the harm in trying things out? We can get good data, we can get good feedback, and we can continue to grow. The problem would be is if we're not trying things out, if we're, just stagnant. We don't want to be stagnant. We want to keep developing, keep moving. And at some point, we're going to find our football field, our basketball court, our soccer field. It's going to start to take form, and then we'll be able to continue to develop that and make it the best product possible for the players who want to play.
Yeah, I will say this. I love trying new things. I love trying to find ways to get more exposure for the game and evolve the game. But if we only have a certain amount of resources, I would much prefer to allocate those resources towards marketing what we already have. That we haven't done well. We haven't done it well at all. Let's try that and then see if we need a change. We have, in my opinion, we have a great game. A lot of people love the way we play, tournament paintball. Let's do a better job of telling the stories, How about this one, Brett? I would rather have blind layouts than this new format that's been proposed. But hey, and everybody here knows how big of a statement that is. So,
yep. No, totally. It's it probably isn't the perfect solution, and you are right. I mean, we do need to tell the stories so much better than we do. I mean, we're so close to it. We know all the stuff that's going on, but I mean, there's usually some really exciting storylines going into each, event or each season. And it's, I'm sure there's a lot of burden on Maddie to kind of know these things. And when you're looking at the NFL, I mean, they have teams of hundreds of people that are writing and putting these stories together and just feeding them to the talent. So it's not on any one person or any group of people at Go Sports or anywhere, but certainly there's like some exciting stuff, up and coming semi-pro teams, just, stories to be telling, and hopefully we can start to get that right. Cause I think that's how you kind of rope in your casual viewer, and I don't know if we can find a format where there's like a common viewpoint. I know that's the whole idea of this thing we're trying is like, okay, well, let's focus on the snake. And maybe that makes it easier for the casual viewer to be like, well, all these guys are trying to get there. So, I don't know.
But you're almost not. It's actually more rewarding to just win the point in this format. So, like, it'd be kind of silly to put all your focus towards going to the snake or taking extra risk just to potentially score 3 points. You know what I mean? It's like you're still going to be trying to win the point because that's worth 7. And if you get 1 point in a match, there's only 3 4-minute periods. The other team can't win unless they win a point, like the snake then becomes irrelevant. So again, I feel like it's, I don't know. There's a lot of holes in it, in my opinion. And you're right. It's not
ultimate shootout format. How'd you feel about that?
I thought it was kind of exciting. I thought it was a little too gimmicky, to be completely honest, but exciting. I was cool with it being a version that we tried to showcase, and a version, what the coolest part I thought about it was the buildup. the stories behind the players, the matchups. I thought that was the coolest part of it, in all honesty. And so you're right. It can't be all on Go Sports or this one entity to tell these stories. But maybe if like Major League Paintball took 10 pros from different teams, followed them for a whole season, and just put something together that is released for free on YouTube so that people that are already paintball fans can see it and people that are just stumbling across YouTube videos. I mean, this platform right here, I can't tell you how many people have just stumbled across Play the Game on their podcast app or on YouTube and never played paintball and started playing paintball, right? We get those messages all the time, which is astonishing. I think in the beginning that was, part of our mission statement, and it was a legitimate goal, but I don't think that I realized it was actually going to come to fruition like that, truly, because it's crazy. I'm like, well, how did you even hear about it? But that's what the algorithm does. It shows you, if you're on YouTube and you're scrolling, you're going to see videos of things that you've never seen before. And so again, if we have this, these great documentaries or pieces of content around professional paintball, people that don't understand the game are going to see that, and that'll probably entice them to play. Not everybody, but some. And if you do that on a grand scale, I think that's the best way forward as far as growing our sport and finding a way to bring paintball, to the next level. Changing the format, we could have a million different formats. If we don't do good enough of a job telling the story, then it's not really going to matter. It's just like anything in life. You could have the best product out there, but if you don't market it well, nobody's going to buy it. You could also have a mediocre product, and if you market it incredibly well, it's going to be the number one seller. So to me, that's where so much more of our focus should be. I would love to see that kind of stuff happening, in all honesty. I've been, saying that on this platform till I'm blue in the face, but I just really believe in it.
Well, you're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. We definitely have to do both, right? We got to make sure the game's good, and we've got to be getting this product on eyeballs. And
Totally.
however we can do that, through all these different
Virtua
avenues.
Paintball.
Virtua Paintball. And also, I do got to say, I was watching the Prelude to a Championship on Go Sports that they created. And that is a really cool piece that they created over there. So if you do get a chance, go to Go Sports, support that piece that they just put out there. I think they're doing another one that's coming up soon. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's $9 or whatever, $10 to be on Go Sports. When I was young, I would have given my all my video games would have been gone. I would just said, take them. I can have all this in my phone or whatever for $9 a month and be able to watch paintball, because you couldn't do that when I was growing up, Marcelo. We couldn't do that. You had to get in your automobile and go.
Wait for the new DVD to come out. VHS. Yeah.
And
Push
then you
Sunday
just have,
drivers.
high-speed highlight reel for an hour that's playing to some really outdated music. The whole Dirter collection online for free for anybody who's curious what we're talking about here. But it is nice. I mean, the media access that we have now, like the ability to go back to our hotel room and watch games and scout our opponents going into Sunday. I mean, it's just wild what paintball has become. So I think part of the whole thing is we kind of have to acknowledge where we have come. And I know a lot of that just has to do with technology advancements in general. But paintball is pretty sweet, but we just have a little bit more to go to get us to that point that people outside of paintball care a little bit. But totally, the documentaries, the storytelling. I know Hormesis is working on one that sounds like it's going to be pretty cool and kind of feature length and a way to tell the whole story of paintball. So yeah, it'd be really good.
Yep, everyone's working hard, and that's what it takes, is everybody coming together for the love of this game. And we all see the vision. We all know where this game's potential lays. It has so much potential, and anybody that sees the game or plays the game, they go out and they say, wow, that was fun, or dang, that's captivating. And we're still in the baby stages of figuring out how to fully encapsulate it and send it out. But more and more people every day know about professional paintball and paintball as a whole, which is the mission. Because the last thing that I want to see at the end of my career, or as I get older, is that paintball fizzles out and isn't anywhere. We've got to make sure that this thing survives on.
Yeah, 100%, Ty. I mean, again, can't stress this enough. All media is good. It's like, all the new podcasts that have been popping up. Huge fan of all of them. We need more. As many people that want to put out, quality paintball content, huge supporter. Video games, shout out to Snapshot VR. I started playing that last year. There was an amazing video game. we would be in the lobby, and the amount of people, because it's all interactive, you could talk with people in the lobby before the game. The amount of kids that had never played paintball before, they either played airsoft or maybe didn't even play airsoft, and they're like, yeah, I stumbled across this. This is cool. I'm going to go try paintball this weekend. Like, what? That's amazing. You know, it's like a new reality for me. I didn't realize the reach that that video games really do have. So I think the sport's in a good spot, which is another reason I'm like, we don't have to change everything. Let's experiment with some stuff. I'm cool with that. And I'm also cool with this. I want to make this very clear. I've definitely said it before, but I want to make it very clear. I'm okay with there being an addition to what we do in almost any kind of format, right? And I told Tom that. I was like, hey, if this does prove to maybe be more, you know, filmable and more viewable, it kind of like the Ultimate Shootout was, then let's do this once a year. You know, let's do blind layouts twice a year, you know, but let's keep like the core of what professional paintball is kind of what it is. And, you know, it's like in all sports, you have the purist of the sports. I guess call me a paintball purist if that's it, even though we have evolved, and maybe a true paintball purist would be someone that wants to play in the woods still. But I love where our sport's at. I really do. And I want to see what we can do if we just go all in on showcasing the stories, the travel. Like you said, when you opened the show, Brett, how you met Remy and one of your business partners now. I met Remy, you know, over 10 years ago in Europe from being able to travel overseas and create these amazing friendships and experiences through the game. You know, it's unlike any other sport. And unless you are close friends with one of the professional paintball players that gets to experience this lifestyle, you have no idea that this game provides that. Right. And every single stranger that I tell on a plane when I'm flying halfway across the world, what I'm going halfway across the world to do, their jaw drops. They're astonished. They think it's so cool. They want to go and take their kids out and play. You know, like these are the stories that need to be told. And sharing the lifestyle of professional paintball athletes is a really unique thing. It's like the skateboard boom, you know, people wanted the lifestyle of it. Surfing, people wanted the lifestyle of it. Professional paintball has an amazingly unique lifestyle that, in my opinion, crushes all of those other extreme sports. Truly, like just absolutely crushes them. So let's do a better job of telling those stories. Let's get those documentaries going and then see what happens.
Yeah, and it's not always the most glamorous life, you know. It's not like anybody's getting paid a ton of money, but it's still really amazing. And you know, you look back at like skateboarding in the 90s, and it's like no professional skateboarders were living lavish, but everybody would have killed to be one of them, you know. And I think paintball is the same way. I mean, when we weren't pros, we would have all killed to be one of those guys. And now and I hope that kids still feel that same way today, because it is really awesome. You know, you don't need a big paycheck for this lifestyle to be really sweet. And you know, with the traveling thing, international travel, I mean, how many countries have you been to because you had to go to another one to play, and now you get visited 3 or 4 more while you're there? I mean, it's just a special thing to do, and you're doing it with the boys and teammates and, you know, people from far away places that you just met that are now your homies, and it's really fun. You know, and you mentioned about doing different formats, and, you know, I think that totally has a place. You know, 10-man has a place. The highest levels of 10-man is really competitive, and it takes a really unique approach to the game. You know, you see X-ball teams typically not do well. It's different. And a different age group can play it. You know, you look at like European football or tennis, you know, there's different formats. You got singles, you have doubles. In European football, they play in different competitions all year long. So they have a league that's in their country. They have a league that's, you know, the entirety of Europe. You know, they have, you know, in England, they have a tournament going on adjacent to all of this all year. So every couple of weeks, they'll have a game for that tournament. So I think there's totally a place where we could have some different, you know, have some different events, some different formats. It's all the same professional franchises. Maybe some sit it out. And then we have one primary league that, you know, if you're a pro team, you're in that league. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways you skin the cat, they say. So
Love that.
I'm flexible. I mean, try it out. So.
Yeah, more paintball. Let's play paintball. You know, whatever that looks like.
We could do 10 pro events again, easy. Blind layouts.
I would love that.
All the time.
And speaking of more paintball, I want to talk about your paintball story and how you got started in the game, what that looks like, and then dive into a little bit of infamous chat leading into Cup. And then we have some PTG World Discord questions as well. The community showed out and they have a bunch of questions for you, so we'll dive into those. But how did you get started in paintball?
I have a semi-traditional starting story. And I think it was probably 98. A neighbor of mine had got a brass eagle talent from Walmart and a little
The
200
talent.
balls, shooting them out the trees. So that kind of evolved to from shooting trees to going out to a paintball field, Bennett Allweather Paintball in Gorham, Maine. Doesn't exist anymore, but that was my first time playing in 99. And I had driven by and I noticed there was like these inflated bunkers out on the field. I'm like, what is that? So realized it was a paintball place. This was a much bigger thing than like just this little pump thing from Walmart. And so I go there and it was just like my mind was absolutely blown. People have like team jerseys and this guy's showing me his Angel that he just got. And I'm a nerd. I love like gear and tech and all that sort of stuff. So I was instantly hooked. Like it couldn't have been harder. I have kind of a personality. It's really easy for me to get hooked on things. Fortunately, not drugs, but things like paintball, things like a business. I just get really obsessed with it. So paintball is like a perfect thing for me. And I played my first tournament in 2000. Played quite a bit of tournaments when I was in high school and stuff. I took a little bit of time off in college, so I think I worked my way up.
And what year was that you first started up?
I played for the first time in 99, and like I played my first full season of tournaments in 2001, but I hadn't played. I wasn't playing nationally. I was just a kid, I think. So in 2001, I was 13.
Damn,
so I had
been in the game. You've been in this game for a minute.
Been around. I mean, my journey to pro is not typical, I think. And it's just like a scenario where I wanted it and I worked hard and I didn't have it naturally. Like some of these kids, they show up at the field, they're like, ooh, that kid's got it, Like I played with a kid, AHSBIZ, and that kid, you guys have played with him, around him. Yeah. I mean, he was a little phenom. And you see kids like this in the game, Colt Dahl, for example. Kids that you're just like, oh, dude, that kid's got it. I was never that kid. So, it was just time under tension, Harrison Fry and I used to always say this because, obviously he's a very talented player, one of the best in the world. But he didn't start out that way. He wasn't the kid either, spent a lot of years in semi-pro. So for me, it was like spent a lot of years in divisional. But what put me over the hump was playing for the Bay State Bandits. We made a commitment that we wanted to try to go pro. We had some funding and we had Jeff Stein come in and be a general manager of the team. So we had some leadership that kind of knew what it took. And so we brought in coaches, first Benny Carroll, great player for Revo. He really taught us all how to play paintball. And I think that's really the key when you're coming up in the game is you can show up at the field every weekend, the random coach of your D4 team. That's just like a washed up guy who never played more than D4. They get you to a certain point and appreciate those people spending their time doing it. But you really need somebody who truly knows the game of paintball to teach it to you. And so for all of us on the Bandits back in 2014-15, that was Benny Carroll. And after that, we used other coaches. So we brought Nick Laval in to do some work with us. And, we kind of went that route of just learning through, as many different quality coaches. I mean, we would pay 187 crew to come practice with us because we just, we were D3. They would kick our teeth in. They'd have to just stop going to the snake so that they didn't just win in 30 seconds type of stuff. And so
can I just ask,
go ahead.
Because I know the listeners would love to know, what were some of the things that Benny taught you that changed your outlook or your perception of the game and helped you take those next steps?
Yeah, totally. So, when it was at the D3 level, a big thing was containment, shoot a guy on the break or shoot a guy and then not let the next guy fill out. That's really huge. I mean, we still have that conversation in pro, how do we just let that guy fall out to the corner? So that, little things like really getting that stuff dialed in. Benny was really great with the mechanics of the game. And I think there's a lot of resources out there now for people. Back when I was a kid, it was Maximus Lundquist won with a gun, and videos like that where you were just like trying to figure it out, and
hey, don't forget about Dynasty Dissected. That's been around for a while.
100%. Yeah, no, that was for sure.
And much love to BKI. I got 3 pieces of content that I just uploaded last night. I got the triple threat drill, the slide wide, code calling 101, all these types of things. We didn't have that. You couldn't log into something and get Oliver's insights on code calling, or, all these different thoughts that top level pro players are having all through these avenues. So really take advantage of those things. And by golly, use code play the game if you do go sign up at BKI. Let's go.
By golly. I'll tell you what, I love watching Tyler's videos when he uploads them, because they really are a masterclass. They're all really thoughtful. And yeah, that's kind of like Go Sports. Back in the day, we couldn't watch professional paintball. You also couldn't just log in and learn this kind of stuff. So just a testament to, like you said, part of it's technology, but a lot of it is just how far the sport's come.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
totally.
Yeah,
man. So you've been in the trenches, dude. You've been out there getting it. And then how did you go pro? Like, what did that shift look like?
Yeah, totally. So when we learned how to play paintball, we saw a little bit of success. The team was really great for a while, but we had some turmoil once we finally got to semi-pro. We had just won D2. We thought we were hot shit. We got our teeth kicked in at the first event, 0-4, last place. For any of you math nerds out there, if you go 0-4 and get last place in semi-pro at the first event, you have no chance of winning a pro spot. We had a couple of guys quit the team after the event. At the end, we did do all right that year, but at the end of this season, one of our teammates unfortunately committed suicide, Carl DeBellis. So may he rest in peace. But some players left the team. We had a lot of turmoil that year, and that's what kind of had me looking around at options outside of the Bandits organization. Sean and I made the decision to kind of shut the team down at that point, and Travis had been talking with me, so I ended up going out to a tryout in Wisconsin with a few guys.
The Cheeseheads, let's go!
Yeah. Shout out Cody Mikowski. Out there in Wisconsin. It's so that was January of 2018, and so I've been playing with Infamous ever since. And it's amazing. I mean, it was really weird kind of when I got to the point that Infamous was the team I had been on the longest. Because when you're coming up, you're like, oh, these are my boys and these are my boys, and and it was kind of weird, So no, it's been really good. It's been fun. We're still looking for that win. I haven't got it yet. So, how it is, you get those tournaments, you're feeling it, and had a couple of those this year, and that just feels really good. I think when you've been around long enough, like, when your team's got it, and the times that you're like, I don't know how we're feeling going into this one. So, obviously we're hoping.
The camp that you guys have is amazing, and Travis is the man. The whole entire Infamous army is outstanding, great people all the way around. So you have a really good family and a good program to be a part of, and the grit and the work is there. Everybody's thoughtfully. I know I see Thomas. I watch his stories. He's getting it. Everyone's out there working, and that's what it takes. If you're going to win, that is what it takes. It takes the work and then the mental aspect as well, right? It's both. You work hard and you work smart. When you put that together, that's where the real good stuff starts to come to life.
Yeah, totally. And I'll tell you something that was really important for our success on the Bandits and learning how to play paintball, and what is working really well for Infamous right now. One of the things Benny drilled into us is we didn't play a lot of 5-on-5 paintball games. We did every other drill in between 1-on-1s, 2-on-2, 2-on-3, bowling alleys, all the different drills you've ever heard of. And we would shoot a skid of paint every single weekend, 45 weekends a year, not playing 5-on-5. So that's how you learn how to play paintball, through breaking down the scenarios like you practice every other sport. And so now that's what we're doing with Infamous. So, we only have 1 week with the layout. So, on the weekend when everybody's practicing, we're scrimmaging with other pro teams. And then on the other weekdays, we're putting in the non-5-on-5 work, setting up all the little drills and learning all the different things about the field. And that's been ultra successful for us to feel confident going in, knowing every angle and shot and fill and all the little different things that you try to put together in your mental notebook or your actual notebook for the tournament. And so it's something I think divisional players should focus on, is, less 5-on-5 and, more scenarios, more drills, just things to get sharp. And then when you incorporate that into 5-on-5, you have a mountain of confidence to do those little ththings really, really well.
Yeah. And awareness of all the different levels. Absolutely.
And drills allow you to play different spots on the field too, and then in 5-on-5, you can play the spot that you feel like you're going to be most effective for your team or whatever. But When you're just doing drills, I mean, you get to play every single spot on the field. So love that about one-on-ones. You're running all over the place sometimes. So you literally see everything, every look.
Totally. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean,
imperative.
and that was a great question that we had in the Discord from Zinger PB. He was wondering what the difference between last year and this year was, outside of roster moves, what's changed? Have those drills and practice time, that kind of stuff been implemented this year? Was that in the past as well?
Yeah, we started last year a little bit to start flying into practice a day early because we had a private field at Giant Party Sports. And so we thought that was productive to do some internal work, have all of that time you need to check bounce shots. And we saw some guys' confidence grow. I thought, I'm probably one of those people as well. Just getting some extra time and some freedom to kind of explore the field, not under any constraints. We obviously lost a couple of really talented players this year. And, I'm sure, everybody kind of thought the same thing, like this might not go well for them. And, I at first I was not ultra confident in where we were at roster wise, but once I saw the team start to come together, that really changed for me. And to see this group that we have right now, the capacity to learn, the willingness to learn, everybody's desire to win. And so every event, we're always talking about, hey, we didn't get to where we needed to go. That means we have to work harder. We have to do a little bit more. And so the biggest thing for us is just trying to balance out not doing too much from a physical standpoint in that week and beating ourselves into the ground so we're not ready for the tournament. So as long as we can find that groove, that middle zone, and work really hard, it's definitely like we love the vibe. We think we can put it together. So we're really looking forward as a group to getting this last opportunity this season, and hopefully we can put it all together.
Yeah, 2023 season is coming to a close in just a matter of days. I know, and it seems like it really did fly by. And this kind of ties into, we got the Dorfster 420 PTG World Discord. Let's go. I would like to ask him, what is Infamous doing as a team and you as an individual to get over that last hurdle and make it into the finals for World Cup and just making finals in general? What is it that has to be done to be in those moments and take home tournaments?
The biggest thing for us as a team is we're continuing to be ultra critical on ourselves as individuals and as a team. So breaking down after each event, what didn't go well, what could be better, not being afraid to say things to people individually, as long as you keep the respect level really high and your paintball knowledge is high. I think that's an issue sometimes with younger teams is you have coaches or players coming down really hard on people, but they're not necessarily right. So we have that
right there.
Most people kind of know what they're talking about it on, with these pro rosters, so we can hold each other accountable. Like I called our pit manager, Steve Jamroz, shout out, Steve, Mama J's Cookies.
Steve's
supplier.
the man.
Yeah, Steve.
So he and I talked for a half hour after the event because our pit was a little chaotic on Sunday. And granted, it was pouring rain. So you had a lot of things going on, but, it
was really pouring.
Yeah. So it was just a chat with him and be like, hey, not anybody's fault, equally players' fault as much as pit crew, but like, how could we make this a little smoother in the future if it does start pouring? So it's just little things like that. When you play at this level, you're not going to have an aha moment that makes you 20% better. It's the aggregation of marginal gains. You're going to hopefully get 1% better by World Cup, and hopefully that's enough. On a personal level, it's really, for me, it's about keeping in really good shape and keeping my snapshot, my first ball. That way, when I pull my gun up on the break, I hit the guy with the first ball. If I snap at a guy or if I'm in a one-on-one, I feel super confident in that situation. So those are really the things I have to do personally. I'm able to do a lot of that at home, shooting at targets. And, I've got bunkers and compressor, like I said, here to keep myself going. I used to do a lot of drill nights, but what I found is it's, the time it takes to travel and do the whole thing versus how many reps I get. So I really focus now on getting those reps in at home. It's just way more valuable for me to get, 1,000 reps in on a target and not drive an hour and a half each way. So that's me personally. So.
Yeah. And I love the dedication. Really, that's what it comes down to, is each individual in the organization being dedicated to that 1%. Like you talked about, man, that 1%. Can you just find that 1% each day? Can you find that 1 or 2% each game, each point, that you're playing, right? Don't look for these big grand changes. Just take what you can do, make it 1% better each time, and keep progressing and being thoughtful and mindful of that. And man, if everyone is doing that, if we're all really tied into that kind of thought framework, working hard off the field, doing the workouts, watching the film, thinking about being mindful about how we can play better paintball together, if we're all doing that, I'm telling you, you're going up. You're going there. You're on the right path.
And a positive note for the younger guys out there, if you follow the plan that Tyler just said, you will actually see the large jumps and gains. You will have some aha moments. Progression in paintball isn't linear. It just gets more linear the more experienced you are. But when you're young, I mean, you're going to be like, oh, wow, you know, like we were talking about the containment thing, like I'm getting free kills left and right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, just stick to the plan, whatever that plan is, and you know, work at it every day, and you'll see it.
Love that.
Absolutely. All right, we have Logan Parenti, 18, wants to know, being from New England and hearing about the Bay State Bandits growing up as a kid, what was your experience like playing on the team? Also, what are some of your favorite memories from playing with them?
Oh, wow. I like that one. So like I said, you know, the Bandits was really, really special. Everybody was super committed to it. I've never seen a team like it, having every single one of our 10 guys at the field. Like I said, 45 weekends out of the year. Didn't matter if it was winter. Some of these guys are my best friends. You know, we go to each other's weddings. We play golf together. We hang out all the time. The camaraderie, you know, it was a good time in everybody's life. So it was really, I don't know. It was just great. That's what I'll say about that.
Awesome.
There was a second part of the question that wasn't just the experience of being on the
it was favorite memory from playing with him.
Favorite memory, I would say, that's a good one. In our 2016 season, probably, we went out to Vegas, and historically, New England teams don't do very well at the first NXL event because we've got a foot of snow on the ground here leading up to it. Our general manager, Jeff Stein, didn't want the team to go, but we all wanted to, and we ended up getting 4th place, which doesn't sound that sweet. But for us as a team and where we were, to go out to that tournament on limited preparation and to kind of perform better than most teams in our region were at the time was just a good experience. And then everybody got really locked in for that season. We were top 4 all season long, won the series title. You know, got some cool championship rings at the end of the year. And nice. And yeah, but I mean, honestly, the experience of just the week in, week out, a lot of us were drilling a couple nights a week as well. Those of us that live in Maine and New Hampshire, going to Boston Paintball, Bolt Paintball, playing Monday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, just like fully immersed in paintball as a lifestyle. And to have other guys who I wasn't having to beg to do that with me, that just wanted, they were, you know, we're all hitting each other up like, okay, where are we meeting tonight? Where are we playing? So, you know, anybody who's experienced that, I'm sure would echo what I'm saying. It's a really amazing experience. And yeah, it's critical for me in my career.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun crew that you got to run around with out there. And
yeah, most guys did go pro. We just unfortunately didn't get a chance to do it together.
Hey,
but yeah,
made it.
Yep.
I just want to get like a hot take from you. Michael Kovar just parted ways with Austin Notorious. What do you think that's going to look like for them? And do you have an idea? Where do you think Michael is going to end up?
I could maybe see him not playing paintball, but that's just me, like off the top of my head, because he's done that before. I really like Mike Kelly. I've played with him a little bit at tournaments over the past few years, 10-mans and stuff. Really cool dude.
A dog.
Yeah, really good at paintball too. Yeah, it's a huge loss for them for sure. Notorious is, I don't know, they've been a little up and down. I mean, I think they got a lot of potential. They've kind of had, seems like roster changes a little bit, kind of event to event, but they've won some games, and I think people take notice, you know, that when you see them on your schedule, you're not like, oh, that's going to be an easy game. Not that anyone is in pro.
The whole pro league is chomping at the bit for big W's. You know, every match is a grind.
Yep. All 20 teams. I mean, maybe not everybody could win the tournament, but everybody in there could beat anybody else any given day. So, but yeah, no, I think, you know, Notorious probably looking to make a big pickup now. Michael's a big loss. I mean, you watch him on the snake, kind of or wherever they, they're using him or pairing him with their other snake player there. Is it Archie Barnes? See the other one?
Yep. Archie Barnes.
Yeah. So, I think that they having the two of them and having, one guy follow the other or, alternating, whatever the case may be, I think losing that element's probably going to be a little tough for them. So see what Ryan Gray has going to do about that.
Well, they're cooking. They're cooking on the backside. They're chomping at the bit to get somebody, or at least keep bolstering what they do have, because you can also, give new opportunities to players from within the organization to say, okay, let's see what you got. Go get this job done out here and make a name for yourself, because that's a great opportunity for somebody as well.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of what happened with Jonah on our team. When he first came onto the team, I mean, I think he was playing behind two really experienced snake players at one point. So, just coming in, working hard, putting your head down, and now I think he's one of, if not the best up and coming snake player, and really cementing a name for himself. So
yes, he's been doing so good out there, and that's one of the most important positions on the field, as everybody knows. It's a tireless job. You're just launching yourself into this obstruction over and over and over and over. But he's done it phenomenally, and he has been making quite the name for himself this season, all 2023.
What I really like about Jonah is, one, he's obviously incredibly talented and a great athlete, but he's come up big in some big moments. And that says a lot about a young player and their mentality, their psyche, right? That's the kind of stuff that's really rare and unique in up and coming players. You could have players that, look good, they're flashy, they're fast, they make big dynamic moves, but it's, what are they doing in certain moments in a match? And Jonah has just had like multiple, some of them against us even, and I'm like, he definitely has something. I would like to see him get all the reps on Infamous, to be honest, because that kid is just on a, he could be really good. I think he could be really, really incredible in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's calm and he's smart. It's really like you said, if you've got the athleticism and, you've got a lot of the pieces, well, what are the other ones? And that's really what it is. What's your intelligence level? Can you chill out? Can you go really fast? And so, yeah, I think he's shaping up nicely.
That's why race cars,
Brett,
they got a bunch of gears. You got to know how to drop into all of them.
Right.
100%. Brett, my last question for you before we let you go is, can we get a play the game server in the Virtua Paintball video game?
Two answers to that question. Number one, you'll be able to create your own private servers at any time. So anyone playing will be able to do that. Additionally, yes, we will absolutely have a PTG server for you guys.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Play.
Awesome.
Play on, player.
Play.
Let's go.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Play the game. We want everyone to play the game.
That's it, man. Yeah, and Brett, dude, thank you so much for everything that you do in the fabric of paintball, helping spearhead this project, and then just being an all-around great guy in the pro circuit. We commend you, salute you. Thank you for everything that you're doing in the game, bro.
Thank you guys so much for having me, and I look forward to seeing everyone at the booth this weekend playing the game.
Yeah, and we'll see you at Cup. We'll see all of you at Cup here pretty soon.
Awesome, brother. Happy Halloween. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Happy Halloween, brother. Peace.
Peace.
Outstanding.
Epic. Dude,
yeah,
incredible. I cannot wait for this video game to launch. It's such a bummer. Digital Paintball made a comeback, but I was never able to play because I only had Mac. And I guess you can download something to where you can play Steam games on your Mac if you have like I forget what it was called, but you can download Windows on your Mac.
Yeah.
Flux capacitor. But anyway, I never did. And so I never had a PC, so I couldn't play these games. They're setting me up with a dope Alienware laptop at Cup that I could bring home. So I'll be able to jam this virtual paintball game, which is so incredible. And actually I meant to ask this question from Patty Rice about, with players looking for something to replace being able to have limited time on the field, do you think Virtua Paintball can help with mental aspect of paintball when you aren't able to go play? And the answer is undoubtedly yes. I remember back in the day playing digital paintball and even playing, Snapshot VR, you are getting mental repetitions. And so they're going to have realistic dimensions, of like an upcoming, event, a layout. You'll be able to get on there and play. And it's just being able to see where the bunker is and see where players are going on the field and find seams, and find moves. It keeps your mind thinking about the game. It certainly is a huge added bonus. You hear, pro athletes all the time. I think it was Tyreek Hill was actually, was it Tyreek Hill? It was one of the top receivers was like, I learned about defenses by playing Madden, and I just go through the, ratings of the defensive players, and that's how I scout them. I think that's crazy, but it's also, it gives them, it shows how in depth these games are, right? So absolutely, a lot of top, professional athletes, they play video games. That's what they do. They play video games. They get those mental reps during the week. Yeah, Kevin Durant has been a very vocal advocate of, NBA 2K and that being part of his preparation. So yeah, I'm excited for this game.
It makes sense, right? It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense. If you're in the mode of playing and say that you play this game or you go read a book, the playing of the game in the metaverse or whatever reality that you're playing it in is going to have you hardwired for success, especially like you said, if they have the layouts and you're able to get those mental reps on that layout, that is huge.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Just an incredible thing for paintball. Really excited for it. Excited to play it at World Cup. We're going to try to get like a 5-on-5 Dynasty versus Infamous thing going at some point. Not sure if I could get 5 Dynasty guys to go play. They're all pretty, well into their 40s, and who knows? I don't know if they like video games. I'm not sure. But it would be cool to have like a little battle there. Next up, we're going to close out the show with an awesome guest, one of the PTG GOATs. For those of you that are up on divisional paintball, there is a huge rivalry in Division 2 between Shut Up We're Trying and New York Wrecking Crew. They've been rivals for 2 seasons now, battling back and forth. Both teams are incredibly talented. Both teams work incredibly hard, have great programs. And this year, Shut Up We're Trying is in first place. I think they're ahead of New York Wrecking Crew by 6 points going into World Cup. Shut Up We're Trying lost to Wrecking Crew in Texas in the finals and then just beat Wrecking Crew in Chicago in the finals. So again, it's been an epic divisional battle. You love to see it. That's awesome stuff. And World Cup is going to be, winner takes all kind of thing. So we're going to get Brandon Allison, he's Snake player for Shut Up We're Trying, on the phone. Let's give him a call.
Yeah, it's been an absolute dogfight out there between the divisional.
Totally.
Here on PTG, we're showing that divisional paintball love.
Hey.
There he is, the man of the hour.
It's about to get wild.
Hey,
is it
what
about
up,
to
Brandon?
get wild?
Hey, it's good to be here.
Glad to have you, man.
We're excited to have you. Yeah, the team has been doing great this year. You guys are in first place overall. We just gave a little rundown of the rivalry between you guys and Wrecking Crew. We spoke about, you guys being ahead going into World Cup by 6 points. It's been almost like a 2-year rivalry, I think. Is that correct?
No, for sure. But some of the rivalries go a little deeper with that team and some of our players.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Hit us with the juice.
Yeah, so Logan's lost to that team a couple of times extra.
Oh, Logan. Good old Logan.
Yeah,
Hanzo. Yeah,
Hanzo,
okay.
I think in some of the lower divisions.
Okay, all right. Hey, Logan has been playing great. He even, he had a shot on Diesel this year. Didn't end up working out, but I'm certain he got a ton of experience from that. And he looked, he's been looking really good for you guys.
No, 100%. So, I consider Logan kind of like a little protege, because I met him when he was super scared to play paintball and just get shot. And to see him come leaps and bounds over years is just awesome. The Diesel thing, I think, had they not amped their team up the way that they did this year, I think Logan could have played there for several years. I don't think it was necessarily that he wasn't playing at a pro level. I just think that they picked up so many superstars that's kind of tough as a new kid,
Yeah, certainly. It was going to be hard to take reps away from one of the new pickups.
No, 100%. But he came back to our team with so much of a different mentality than he did when he went to their team. So, I think the biggest thing that he gained from going to them was learning how to be a leader, going into that next step. Because when he came to us, I think he felt like he needed to lead a little bit. And And so far, he's been one of our biggest, hype guys. So
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon, how long have you been playing ball?
I've been playing since I was 8, but I didn't get to play tournament paintball really. I played a few 3-mans when I was like 15. I repped a lot when I was like 16 to 18 at a field called Fun on the Run. I highly recommend to new players trying to get into the sport in the Fort Worth area to go play recreational paintball there. It's a great field. And a big reason why I got hooked was Fun on the Run. So, I mean, I've been playing off and on since I was real young. When I turned 18, I didn't come from like a family of money, so I kind of had to get a job and try to figure out how to make things work, and paintball's kind of expensive.
Yeah,
so
it is.
I had to figure
How
that
old
out.
are you now?
I am 33 now, so time's up back.
33. Dude, yeah, you've been playing for quite some time. And what is, I mean, obviously divisional paintball right now is very competitive. It's crazy watching you all go at it at the semi-pro divisional levels, all throughout the ranks, WNXL. All of it is really competitive. What is your sentiment on everything right now with divisional paintball? Are you enjoying it? You having a lot of fun with the tournaments?
No, for sure. I'm having a blast. I think that Tom Cole's doing a lot to try to grow the sport and everybody who's involved, because, I mean, we point the finger at one person, but there's a lot of people involved in growing the sport. I think that they're trying. I don't necessarily agree with everything that all the decisions that are made, but I think that, when you see effort, I think we're going in the right direction. So I'm super happy with where the team is this year. So that kind of takes a lot of stress off, sometimes when you're not having a great season, that can kind of build some turmoil and everything. But I mean, this year's been probably one of the funnest that I've played.
And I'm sure it hasn't always been that way, right? Like,
no, 100%. I mean, last year we didn't have the results that we necessarily wanted, but we didn't play bad last year. But I mean, we felt like we should have been a top 5 team every single event, kind of like Wrecking Crew was. And the season before, I mean, we had some success, but not near what we, really expected. So going into this season, performing the way that we have, I'm super stoked to go to World Cup.
Yeah, and what do you think has led to the success of Shut Up We're Trying this season? What does your guys' preparation look like? Practices. What can you attribute that to?
So, I mean, I can't really pinpoint one specific thing because I think there's so many factors. I mean, one factor I think is who we are practicing. We're practicing fit, and their success in the semi-pro division kind of speaks for how they're playing. And I mean, they're playing at a professional level for sure. And I mean, they just smack us at practice. So what we do on them that works, we know is going to work. You know what I mean? We don't do anything in practice that works, and then we get to the tournament and it doesn't work. Now at the same time, that can also break teams down, and I have seen it break teams down where they play that upper team, and it has worried us, especially going into the first event. Like our practice, we're not winning a lot of points, so going into it, you're worried, did we get a good practice? And also at the same point, I'm also worried for them because I do love the big guys. I'm worried, did we give them a good practice? You know what I mean? They just smack us. So are we giving them good looks? And then when they win and then we podium, it tells me that what we're doing is working. So then it made it easier in like the, Philly and Chicago tournament, later in the season, saying, okay, let's be very confident with this system and not get stressed out that we're losing a lot. Like it's working. So we're giving them a good look. We're getting a good look. Be happy with what we're doing. Who cares if we win at all? Let's just keep doing what we do and work out the mistakes. So.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it. You're absolutely right. A lot of teams, if they play some of the upper echelon teams or teams in higher divisions and they get beat down, they don't they don't react to it well, and they can't process the information that will allow them to learn from those practices. Instead, they kind of think, well, nothing's working, and it's a downward spiral, and they get down on themselves, they lose confidence, and it can actually be detrimental to have those kind of practices. But if you can practice against better teams and get beat down and take the good from it and be really constructive in that process, there's no better way to improve your game than that. It happened with us on Aftermath when we were in Division III back in 2005. We had the opportunity to play against Dynasty on most off weekends, and we would just get beat down. But there would be little things that we could take from it, be like, oh, this worked. Yeah. This worked. Let's lean into that, and let's not, you can't spend that, you can't spend 5 seconds looking inside. You have to only spend 2 seconds looking inside, because otherwise you lose containment, right? If you can be, really constructive throughout that process, you're going to get so much better so quickly.
For sure. And, I think another thing that's helped us is just sticking together, because like in some of the previous years as a team, because we pretty much have the same core that's grown together, and we have some new pieces that move in and some pieces that have moved out and back and stuff, and we lost a guy here and there, but we've kept the same core for several years. And some of the years, players get stressed. I've been stressed. Everybody's been pretty much stressed about something that somebody else does, and like we're showing up to practice. You're not showing up to practice enough. And, their point of view is like, well, I have a family, or I have, a job I got to go to, dude, got wedding or whatever the case may be, right? Things happen, life happens. And this year, I think everybody's really just released all the pressure, and nobody's put any kind of extra pressure on anybody. Everybody said, hey, let's just, do what we can do, and not get on anybody about anything, and not even think about any of that. And I think that's helped a whole lot as well. Just trusting each other, believing in each other. We've all made it to the finals. We know we can make it to the finals, so don't even stress about, whatever. Just try to make yourself better.
I love that. Absolutely love that, Brandon, because that is one of the cornerstones of success for any organization. Is you have to believe in each other, believe in your teammates, believe in the organization. There's going to be things that are going on. That's fine. That's life. Don't be so judgmental of the things that are going on. Just believe in each other, and believe that everyone's doing their damnedest to make the dream come true of winning the events and being the best version of themselves, right? The belief is the cornerstone. And when you see that, it changes the organization. When you see everyone really believing in each other and not putting that extra pressure on everybody, it's game changer.
Yeah, I think it's hard for teams that haven't really gotten to that pinnacle, or haven't won an event, to really grasp it until they see it. But like some of the events that I've won, you didn't have to work so hard. And that was kind of why Chicago meant so much, was because it was the opposite. I mean, everything that could go wrong went wrong in Chicago. I had 3 points where I didn't have a gun to shoot, or I didn't have a hopper, or something. The rain came in, it was cold, it was wet. There was a time that I went and actually stayed in the porta potty for like an extra minute or two, because it was the warmest place that you could be out there,
That's rough.
This is going to be live in front of everybody, right?
Oh no, for sure. I mean, hey, I'm an open book. So,
man.
No, but we were down every single match. First point, I think we were down at least 3 in more than 3 matches. So the biggest thing that I'm proud of about our guys from the Chicago win was the only thing that won us that tournament was heart. Everybody really gave their heart to each other in that tournament. That's the only reason we made it. So
yeah, that's massive, man. Heart does go a long way. Somewhere along the way, heart used to be preached all the time. And when people say heart, what they're referring to is effort and care and emotion and drive, and just denying, refusing to lose, this burning fire inside, this passion, right? That's what they're referring to when they use the term heart. It's not this beating thing in your body that brings blood throughout the rest of your body. It's actually a mentality. And, for a while, it seemed like that kind of got lost, and the game was starting to become this, it's all about fundamentals and strategy and being so perfect and this and that. Nah, man, you can win with messiness because of heart. Heart really can propel your team or your individual performance to the next level. And, not everybody has it. You either do or you don't. You can't force it. You can't fake it. And it really does show in tournaments like that, where it's cold, it's wet, it's raining, things aren't going your way. That's when it shows the most. When everything's going your way, it's easy to appear like everything's going well. It's when things aren't going your way that heart really reveals itself. So I love that you said that, actually, Brandon. I really do. Heading into World Cup, are you guys doing anything differently to prepare than you have the rest of the season, or are you kind of happy with the formula and are just going to stay consistent with it?
No, I mean, ultimately, we look at the best thing that we can do for our team probably in the future is end up with a coach. We've talked to a few pro players that are kind of shocked that we do as good as we do with no coach. But going into this event with the results that we're having, our main mentalities don't change anything at all. We don't really want to change anything. We looked at a few players that we may have been interested in picking up, but mainly if we're interested in picking anybody up, it's because of next season more than World Cup, right? They're more along for the ride more than we need them for Cup if we were to take anybody. So,
yeah.
So I go ahead.
I was just going to say, you got to, be mindful of everyone's been watching you, obviously. So you got to take that into account as well, and play really smart paintball. Keep doing the work that has been paying off and just play really smart ball together as a team.
100%. I mean, I think the most confusing part about World Cup for us is going to be the factor of the Champions Cup, which is really cool because we missed out on the Champions Cup last year. Technically, we would have probably been a part of it last year, but the fact that we get it this year, that's really awesome. And we're guaranteed Sunday. Supposedly we're guaranteed top 4. Now, I don't know what that means. If they take 16, we have to play, or if we're guaranteed to play just the top 8, which I assume that means we'll just play top 8.
I believe it's top 8. I do believe it's a bye to the top 8. I'm not positive, though. Divisional might be a little different.
Right. The weird thing about some of the lower divisions are they'll take a lot of teams sometimes on Sunday, and then that kind of changes some things. So I believe when I talk to you in messages about the bye, it may be different just for us because of that factor. But I mean, where it gets weird is just the teams you're probably going to have to face on Sunday in the prelim, and the fact of, do you want to show them looks? Because it doesn't really matter if you win. Are you trying to confuse them? Are you trying to just beat them? Because statistically, Maddie says a lot of times it's hard to beat a team twice in a tournament because they get to see what's working for you, and then they get to counterbalance it, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to think about all this weird stuff that you don't typically have to deal with because I don't normally have to play them until late Sunday. So.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to watch the showdown. Hopefully, if things go perfectly, Tyler and myself will be getting ready for our game. You guys will be playing Wrecking Crew in the, finals right before us. We'll all be on the pro field, laughing, talking, having a good time, and we'll be getting ready for an epic showdown, World Cup finale, winner take all situation in all the divisions.
I can't wait, buddy.
Awesome, man. Yeah, man. Brandon, any last thing you want to leave the listeners with before we let you go? Any hot takes for World Cup?
No, Wrecking Crew needs to bring their extension cords for their buzzsaws, and
aren't those things gas powered?
I don't know. You'll have to ask them all about it. I just know they weren't working on Sunday in Chicago.
Yikes.
But no, well, hey. I look forward.
Dude,
Go ahead.
I'm excited. I'm excited for it all, and we can't wait to see you and the squad out there at World Cup. And then
Yeah, brother.
obviously do some shout outs, or like Marcelo said, any other news that you want to drop or any love you want to show to any of your sponsors, now's the time.
For sure. So JD and Paintball Fit are my biggest supporters. I could not play paintball without JD, and I love the guy. I can't say enough words about him. So I'll try to move on because I'll talk your ear off about trying to say good things about JD. But the Paintball Fit is such an amazing place for me, and like I said, I wouldn't be here without them. Their knee pads, Hydra Fit. You can go to hydrafitgear.com. I've had 2 knee surgeries, and I absolutely love their knee pads. They've kept me together in the snake, and if you ever see me play, I don't play the back in the back type of style. So their knee pads are amazing, and Empire Paint is the best paint in the game for sure. At least for us, they've had amazing paint for us all season. JT Paintball, I love the ProFlex. So go out and check out the ProFlex if you've never worn one. I've worn one since I was a kid, and I choose to wear it. I'm not forced to wear it. And go compete. They do all of our design work. That's Joe Stewart. If you need anything designed to try to sell for your team, or if you just want personally, contact Joe or go to CMPT. And then that's everybody that I can think of off the top of my head. Oh, I got to thank Alex and Hormesis. Alex has been super nice to me. So I can't just say enough things about Alex.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Well, it sounds like you got a lot of love in the camp and a lot of support, which is what it takes to be successful. And come out there swinging, go out there, play some great ball. World Cup, we can't wait to see you and the squad take on the Buzzsaws. They're going to be pissed off now they heard this, and they're going to be having some fun. And, this is what paintball is all about. It's all about that friendly camaraderie, those big rivalries, and playing with some grit and some heart and going out there and doing the best that you can to put those W's out there on the board.
For sure. It's all in love.
All right, brother. Thank you for joining us on the show, and we will see you at Cup.
Hey, thanks for having me. Y'all have a great day.
Later, brother. Peace.
Bye. Goat Squad. Let's go.
Bye. All right, dude.
Man.
We got some action at Cup. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, I can't wait. Ty, where are you guys going this weekend?
We will be out at Wasteland playing out there in Texas. And then we'll be heading over to Florida. Hopefully the weather holds up for us. Honestly, I don't know exactly who quite yet. But yeah, has all the details, and we'll be getting some good reps out there. Got it.
Maybe Diesel. We will be in Texas as well, San Antonio, with X Factor and Impact. So excited for the layout to drop tomorrow. Let's go.
Tomorrow.
Layout drops tomorrow, and then it's all in. We're locked and loaded. We will be having a Monday show next week, I think, right?
I think I'm possibly traveling on Monday. I just got the flight details on that. So we'll have to see. It might be like an evening, Monday evening.
Monday evening. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I know
I'll be ahead in time anyway. So it should work out that way. Yeah.
Nice. I know Miko wants to come on and share some big Hormesis news that they have for World Cup. So that should be exciting. We can obviously talk about the layout and practice and all the good stuff. But other than that, man, have a great Halloween with the kiddos. Are you going to go trick or treat?
Yeah, I'm just going to take them out for like a little bit tonight. They have their costumes. They're all like little glow people, with the glow stick arms and the glow legs. So they're going to go do some glow life out there. And then I will be dropping the BKI content with Nick Slowiak for the breakdown on the World Cup layout tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that. And I got to just show some more love to everybody who's a part of the PTG community. Thank you all for being a part of this show, of the Discord, supporting us, supporting paintball. We can't do this without you, and it truly means the world that you support us in all the ways that you do on the YouTube, listening to the show, supporting on the Patreon. It goes a tremendous way in helping us keep this game moving forward. So thank you all out there.
Absolutely. 100%
Yep.
well
And
said,
Marchie,
Ty.
I'll see you soon, brother.
Sounds good, brother. Have a great afternoon.
All right, you too. Peace.
Peace. All right, everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and rocking with us. As always, we appreciate your support so much. Thank you so much for all of the comments and support on the YouTube and for all of our Discord members. Thank you guys very much. This would not be possible without you guys. You guys help in a tremendous way. So thank you guys for the support. If you guys love the show and would like to also support, you can head over to ptgpaintball.com, click the orange Patreon link in the top right corner, and become a supporter at any level. Again, it goes a long way and it is greatly appreciated. We cannot thank you guys enough. As always, everybody, please have a fun, safe, happy holiday, happy Halloween, and we cannot wait to see you guys on next week's show after the World Cup layout drops. All right, see you soon.